Hey, Daryl, we need to give Director Gray co-host permissions so she can turn her camera on. Try now. Okay, he did.
Good morning, and thank you for attending the California Office of the Small Business Advocate State of the Office virtual event. We want to thank you for your commitment to small business in the state of California and for being here this morning. My name is Bob Adams, and I am the Central Valley Small Business Local Engagement Specialist for our office. I quickly want to go over the rules of engagement for today's event. You will recognize that your microphones are muted and you're unable to turn on your cameras, but we do want to engage with you this morning. Today, we'll be utilizing the Q&A feature located at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. If you have any questions about the content that's being presented, or just a general question you'd like to pose, please utilize the Q&A feature as our team is as our team is here to help you out and assist you behind the scenes with any questions that you may have. We also have a 5-minute break that will occur at about 10:50 this morning to give you an opportunity to stretch your legs and to refill your coffee. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the director of the California Office of the Small Business Advocate, Tara Lynn Gray. Madam Director, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bob. Y buenos días a todos. Me llamo Tara Lynn Gray y soy la directora de la Oficina del Defensora de los Negocios Pequeños. Es mi placer estar contigo hoy. Porque el español no es la idioma principal, por los todos continuaré en inglés. My name is Tara Lynn Gray, and as director, I want to thank you for joining us for the first virtual open house of the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. We decided to open our office to you for one simple reason: to make my team and the programs we administer on behalf of the state of California more accessible to you. Before we get started, I want to share a couple of basic facts about small businesses in California. Facts that explain why this state leads the country in programs to support entrepreneurship. Fact number one: California is home to the largest and most diverse small business sector in the country. At 4.2 million small businesses, we have 36% more small businesses than the next state on the list, which is Texas, if you care. Nearly 45% of California's small business owners are Hispanic or a racial minority. Only Hawaii and the U.S. territories have a higher percentage of businesses owned by non-whites. California leadership is not just about the numbers. It's about a sincere belief in the idea that thriving small businesses are the heart of our economy and, in fact, our communities. Our programs and our partners help small business owners get started, manage their businesses, and grow. But that's not all. In everything we do, we strive to connect the vehicle of entrepreneurship to economic mobility. That is to help small business owners create generational wealth for their families and reduce the racial wealth gap. For our office, this is what the governor's vision of a California for all requires. I want to thank Governor Newsom for his support, for his understanding of the blood, sweat, and tears it takes to run a small business. I thank him for supporting a California where we are all encouraged to dream big and shop small. So we're going to get the show on the road right now with some remarks from our very own Governor Gavin Newsom.
Hey everybody, it's Governor Gavin Newsom, and today we're here, well, to talk business, specifically small business. As you all know well, California is the 5th largest economy in the world. By the way, little secret, if we continue on pace, we may be the 4th largest very soon. And by the way, we know that's thanks to all of you, the 4.2 million small businesses who call California home and employ, as we all know well, almost half of our entire workforce. In partnership with the legislature, we're really proud. We've created some of the largest and most dynamic small business grant programs in the nation. To date, as a proof point, we've already granted over $3.7 billion in relief funds to just shy of 325,000 small businesses. And by the way, nonprofits that are all administered by the California Office of Small Business Advocate. And under the leadership of Director Gray, CalOSBA continues to serve small businesses and assist with their financial and economic recovery needs. They've stood up the Microbusiness COVID-19 Relief Grant Program to support businesses for those under $50,000 in revenue. They stood up the Venues Grant Relief Program to support our live events industry, and of course, the nonprofit Performing Arts Grant Program, all while continuing other assistance programs like the Accelerate California program, which creates innovation hubs across all of our state's regions. Technical assistance programs, by the way, that support, last I checked, I think 91 technical assistance centers for small business owners that get free business assistance. The Dream Fund program, we can go on and on. So many wonderful programs. I know we need more, but the Dream Fund program needs to be called out in particular because it provides needed startup capital for those, well, fulfilling their own dreams to become small business owners. And we provide a lot of support, including technical assistance. These efforts, all of these efforts, cumulatively, and many others have helped us economically outpace almost every other state, 7.8% GDP growth last year. Eat your heart out, Florida and Texas. And of course, we're outpacing economically most Western democracies. Running a small business is never easy. So we're working to ensure California's small businesses and our economy remain the envy of the world. So I want to thank you all, especially those at CalOSBA and specifically Director Gray, for all your great work. And I hope you all have a great open house.
Governor Newsom, thank you again for your commitment to supporting small business ownership and entrepreneurship in California. Let me set the stage for what comes next by explaining the mission of CalOSBA. We provide the information, content, and resources you need to start, manage, and grow your business. We administer quite a few grant programs, as you heard the governor say, which you'll hear more in depth about today. We work closely with our partners in your communities to help to build the ecosystem for small business support across the state. And we represent your voice and your interests within the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. I want to repeat something that I say nearly every day to a small business owner out there somewhere, and that is, you do not have to go it alone. That is the mission of our office and our partners, to accompany you on your journey. You're going to hear directly from several people on my team today. There's just not enough time to feature every individual contributor, but I want to thank the entire team for what they do every day and the tremendous effort that it took to pull off this open house. I need to first recognize my leadership team. Deputy Michelle Radman, currently out on leave, and Chris Earle, who has served as acting deputy since last January. He has been wearing 2 hats in this interim time period, acting deputy and regional advisor for Southern California. You'll meet him shortly, and he'll describe some of the initiatives that he leads as a regional advisor. This is the rest of the current CalOSBA team on screen right now, which has grown from 5 people to 20 in the time I've been director. And yes, we are still hiring. The first team that you will hear from today is a very hardworking programs team, the team that administers every grant program run by our office. Jean, take it away.
Thank you so much, Director Gray, for the kind introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Jean Coleman, and I am a program manager here at CalOSBA. And I'm here today with my colleague, Cassie Fortes, the other program manager, to discuss the various programs that we have that provide direct support to California small businesses. In the last few years, as Director Gray noted, CalOSBA has grown tremendously, and we've gone from managing around 3 programs to over a dozen. This has been a time of tremendous growth and innovation for our office, and we would not be where we are today without the collaboration of the broader economic development system. Our office conducts much of our work through collaboration, together with small business technical assistance centers, grant-making entities, lenders, and local governments, to name just a few. Through all these efforts, I'm proud to share that CalOSBA programs provide direct grant funding and technical assistance to hundreds of thousands of businesses each year. So some of our direct services are going to be highlighted today. And these are service programs that provide sustained, ongoing support to small businesses that help them start, grow, and thrive. Our Technical Assistance Program, also known as TAP, is a network of, as of this week, over 100 centers throughout the state. And it's truly a cornerstone of our office and what we do. This year was a very exciting year because the Technical Assistance Program was made permanent. And this means that our network of small business centers will continue to provide much needed services year after year, every single year. You might be asking, what does technical assistance mean and what do these centers provide? Our centers are located across the state in every region. They provide no-cost one-on-one consulting and training services to small business owners and entrepreneurs. These services are available in over 30 languages and include support to start a business, obtain capital like grants and loans, get training on marketing, digital innovation, procurement, and many other crucial topics that help businesses thrive. We'll discuss many more programs throughout this presentation, but I really wanted to highlight this network of centers because they are our boots on the ground. They're sources of extremely helpful information and direct support. So for any small businesses on the line today, when in doubt, reach out to a local small business center or maybe becoming a technical assistance provider. Know that this program is ongoing. It's now permanent and it's rebid every single year. So for more information, including contact information for your local technical assistance providers, information about how to become part of the network, please go to our website at business.ca.gov/centers. So another program that we run through these centers, many of them are participants and active in administering the program, is the California Dream Fund. This is a one-time program designed to jumpstart small business creation. New entrepreneurs that participate in this program must complete an intensive training program at one of our small business centers and meet other eligibility criteria. At that point, they are able to apply for a micro grant to help start their business. Now, while this program is new and there is a limited amount of funding, there are some centers that still have spaces. So if you are interested, please go to calosba.ca.gov/California Dream Fund for more information. A third program that is part of our technical assistance direct services to small business portfolio is the Accelerate California Inclusive Innovation Hub program. This is a new program. It started this year, and it supports science and technology-based firms across our state. There are currently 10 designated innovation hubs across the state, and they're helping build regional innovation support through the program. This program will continue to expand, and we'll discuss a little bit more about it throughout the rest of the presentation. So please stay tuned for more. And now my colleague Cassie Fortes will discuss a little bit about our grant programs, our grants to small businesses. So Cassie, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Jean. As mentioned earlier, my name is Cassie Fortes. I am the Special Grants Program Manager at CalOSBA, and today I have the pleasure of introducing our grant programs. First up, we have the California Small Business COVID-19 Relief Grant Program. This program was developed in response to the COVID-19 pandemic with the goal of helping businesses stay open and weather a very challenging time. The program is the largest state-level COVID relief grant program in the country, and to date has distributed nearly $3.7 billion to nearly 325,000 businesses. Applications are closed, but awards are ongoing for folks that applied during open rounds. Next, we have the California Micro Business COVID-19 Relief Grant Program. Micro businesses are often among the most vulnerable businesses and frequently are not able to access larger grant programs. To address this issue, the legislature established the California Micro Business COVID-19 Relief Grant Program, a program that is administered through participating counties. To date, there are 46 counties that have stepped up to participate in the program and deliver $2,500 grants to small businesses. We encourage you to reach out to your county for more information about possible open rounds and eligibility criteria. And now on to the California Nonprofit Arts and Culture Grant Program. This program supports eligible California nonprofit cultural institutions such as museums, dance companies, musical groups, historical sites, and zoos. These entities were some of the hardest hit during the pandemic, and the grant program was established to provide much needed relief. This program has specific eligibility criteria, so we recommend you going to careliefgrant.com/arts and culture for more information. While this program is currently closed, there will be a new round soon. So during that new round, new applicants and applicants that have already received a grant through the program may apply. Next, the California Venues Grant Program is another grant program that was developed for independent live event venues, an industry that was also heavily impacted during the pandemic. As of September, the program has distributed over $80 million in funding to over 550 eligible California venues. Awards are still ongoing, and there will be a new round opening soon. So we encourage you to check out cavenuesgrant.com for more information. And finally, the California Nonprofit Performing Arts Grant Program is a new program designed to support workforce development among eligible nonprofit performing arts organizations. Eligible organizations include theater and dance companies, musical groups, and artists and other performing arts companies. The program is currently open and accepting applications. So if you think your organization qualifies, we strongly encourage you to check out canonprofitperformingarts.com for more information. And now on to expanding and proposed grant programs. CalOSBA continues to grow and meet the needs of small businesses in California. There are several new programs that were recently approved and will be rolled out over the next year. First off, we have Accelerate California Inclusive Innovation Hub program, which expands the existing Innovation Hubs program by adding additional funds to support hubs for 4 more years. There will also be acceleration grants to spur high-growth industries. For more information on this expanded program is coming soon in this presentation. The California Regional Initiative for Social Enterprise Program is a new program to accelerate economic mobility and inclusion for individuals that face employment barriers. We are very excited to roll out this program and we'll be sharing more information soon. So please sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date. Next, we have the Women's Business Center Enhancement Program, which provides $8 million over 3 years to fund technical assistance through the women's business centers across the state. We are so excited to invest in women-owned businesses through this program, and we'll be sharing more information soon. In addition, there are several programs that will be coming to our office shortly. These include the Small Agricultural Business Drought Relief Grant Program and the Small Business and Nonprofit COVID-19 Supplemental Paid Sick Leave Grant Program. And that concludes our introduction of our grant programs. These programs are designed to help small businesses start, manage, and grow in a sustainable and equitable way. We encourage you to check out our network of technical assistance providers, as they are our boots on the ground supporting businesses hand in hand each day. They are our experts in helping small businesses obtain information, training, and resources. So if you wouldn't mind, please sign up for our newsletter if you're not already signed up, so you can stay up to date on all the programs mentioned today. For more info, please visit calosba.ca.gov.
Thank you, Cassie, for that overview of our small business programs. You've just learned about our direct grants for small businesses and nonprofits. And right now, we're going to focus on just one area that Jean mentioned earlier in that very long list, our network of more than now 100 technical assistance providers. As Jean explained, they provide no-cost one-on-one counseling and training. But that doesn't really capture the critical importance they play in the small business support ecosystem in California. They include small business development centers, or as we refer to them, SBDCs, the women's business centers, and nonprofits, all focused on one objective: helping you succeed in developing and achieving your business goals. So we're going to talk to 3 leading practitioners in that network of small business centers across the state. From Southern California, Manal Rika, CSU Fullerton SBDC Director. Welcome, Manal.
Thank you, Director Gray.
From Central Valley, we have Kurt Clark, Central Valley Lead Center Director.
Thank you, Director Gray. It's a privilege to be here today with everyone.
And from Northern California, standing in for Kristen Johnson, who is the Northern California Lead Center Director, we have Scott Rogowski.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's start by each of you describing your service areas and the most important services and programs that you provide for small businesses. Scott, let's start in Northern California.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much, Director Gray, and good morning, everyone. My name is Scott Rogowski. I'm the Associate Director of NorCal SBDC, Small Business Development Centers. We cover the most 36 northern counties of the state. So we go from Santa Cruz on the coast all the way up the coast to the Oregon border. We cover all 9 counties, the Bay Area. Southeast is Stockton, then back up to the Nevada-Oregon border. We cover some of the most rural parts of the state. We have a program that is catered to Hispanic businesses called Program Hispano. That is run by the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, one of our regional programs. We also have a program called the Inclusivity Project, and that focuses specifically on Black African-American entrepreneurs and existing businesses. Also, we have a tech program that specializes in helping businesses all across several areas of tech to help introduce entrepreneurs to meet angel investors and VCs. And thanks to CalOSBA, we received money to help expand our minority, our rural, and our fire assistance. So thank you.
And moving to Central California, Kurt, same question.
Thank you, Tara. Central California SBDC Network covers 14 counties in the central part of the state, from Modesto to Bakersfield, Nevada to the coast, which includes Monterey down to the Pismo Beach area. And we have 6 service centers and 10 outreach locations that provide customized, no-cost services to small businesses and entrepreneurs who want to start a business throughout these 14 counties. Each of our centers receives funding from CalOSBA through the Capital Infusion Program and the TAP program, as well as the California Dream Fund program. And we also receive support from the U.S. Small Business Administration, as well as other funding sources to expand and grow the program. Currently, we have 150 business advisors across our 14 counties. They speak 11 different languages. And over the last 3 years, thanks to funding from the state, we've been able to greatly expand our outreach and services in the rural parts of our 14 county service area. And one of the things that I just want to share, it's super easy to be an SBDC client anywhere in California. It only takes about 3 to 5 minutes to complete an online application. And any SBDC advising service across the entire state is provided at no cost to our clients. In particular, we are working on reaching out to partners in the ag community and really trying to enhance our services with ag supporting small businesses such as equipment manufacturers, truckers, processors. That's been a big push lately, particularly the Salinas Valley area and the Central Valley. And we've also been working with a lot of minority organization partners such as Hispanic chambers, the Hmong chambers, Southeast Asian chambers, the various Asian chambers throughout Central California to reach even deeper into that large group of unserved small business owners. That's really a priority for us this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. And last but in no way least, Manal, tell us about your center in Orange County.
Thank you so much, Director Gray. So I'm the director of the Cal State Fullerton University SBDC, which is one of 9 service centers under the Orange County Inland Empire Small Business Development Center Network. We do receive our funding from CalOSBA and the SBA as well. We do cover Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties, and we offer assistance to small business owners within a territory that covers 93 cities. Our lead center is hosted by Cal State University Fullerton, and we do provide the no-cost assistance across our network through 3 traditional or core centers that focus on helping our entrepreneurs and small business owners start, grow, and expand. We have 4 specialty centers that focus on different specialty areas, including the SBDC Finance Center, offering our clients assistance with access to capital and matching small business owners with lenders. We have the Center for Contracting that helps our clients with the process of certifications and identifying opportunities in order to do business with the government at a local, state, and federal level. I'm very proud of our Digital Media Lab, which is a marketing agency that provides marketing assistance to our clients, such as search engine optimization, website audits, brand assessments, even product photography, and our trade team that provides assistance with exports and imports. And finally, 3 tech centers within our region that help with readiness for investors, pitch decks, and access to capital ventures funds as well. All of our centers look and feel the part. We mirror our communities with over 125 consultants speaking 27 languages. Our consultants are active business owners and experts in their areas and help our entrepreneurs and small business owners at no cost start, grow, and expand their business. We assist our clients with launching and growing, financial assistance, benchmarking, projections, marketing, sales, building their teams, and more. And everything we do is offered at no cost to our small business community due to the support and funding we receive from CalOSBA.
She's on her way. Thank you all for those introductions. For those of you listening, you can find a map of all of the small business centers on the CalOSBA website at calosba.ca.gov. Every technical assistance center we fund is charged with expanding services to underserved business communities, women, veteran and minority-owned businesses, businesses in low-income communities, and rural and disaster-impacted businesses too. So let's talk about this part of the mission. Scott, I'm going to turn to you first. Northern California has been so impacted by wildfires over the last few years. How do the SBDCs provide support to disaster-impacted communities?
Yes, we provide support in several different ways for fire victims. Most of our centers have gone door to door, if there is still a door left, to meet with these businesses in person, hand by hand, and really work with them. A lot of these businesses really just need somebody to vent to and talk to and listen to their challenges and their struggles. And we help them with one-on-one advising around helping them fill out the applications that are the required materials to get the needed financial relief to help, essentially try to get their business back up and running, which is extremely hard. And it's also challenging if the businesses, which is common in a lot of the rural areas, they haven't saved their financials electronically. So we have to help them kind of recreate their financials, their P&Ls, their balance sheets, kind of put the numbers together that makes sense, their taxes. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of assistance. And we're there, boots on the ground, feet on the street to help them with that. We've created workshops designed specifically around, covering the benefits that's available during emergencies as well as disaster plans. And a lot of our centers have done preventative work to try to mitigate any of the risks after the fire happens, so that they're ready around resilience and jumping back into their business. And this work takes a lot of time. It's an ongoing process. It's not just when the fire happens or after it happens. We're working with these businesses for years after the fires to help them kind of regain strength and jump back in.
Kurt, I'm going to turn to you. From what we just heard Scott say, let's talk about your geography. We know that geographical isolation is a challenge for technical assistance providers. How does your region work to deliver services to rural and agricultural businesses?
Thank you, Director Gray, for the opportunity to share that. That is very, very important to us, covering 14 counties, the Central Valley, Eastern Sierras, and the rural areas of the coastal communities is a challenge. Over the past 3 years, because of the funding provided by the state of California, we've been able to greatly expand our reach into those rural areas. We have added 20 additional business advisors who live and work in those rural communities over the last 2 years. We've added 4 outreach centers where people can go and receive SBDC services and other services in the community, because those outreach centers quite often are housed with local government, chambers, et cetera, where there's a whole broad range of services that support small businesses, many similar to what Scott was saying, that are impacted by local disasters. We are adding 2 more before the end of this year, and hopefully we'll be adding some additional outreach centers in the coming year as well. By having experienced business advisors who quite most often have started and operated their own businesses during their lifetimes that are living in those rural communities is extremely important. And we've worked very hard to locate those individuals who have that skill and talent and who are willing to give back to their local communities, and many of them are. It's important that we recruit those individuals that have that unique understanding of the local geography, the local governance in those areas, and the challenges that those areas face, whether it's repeated natural disasters, economic challenges, mobility challenges, broadband access, any number of challenges that rural small businesses face that many small businesses in urban areas don't have to deal with. We partner almost in every county and every community with local county and city government officials, whether it's economic development, whether it's through permitting and zoning, planning departments. And that's really important to assist our clients to understand local zoning and permitting rules, to understand how to find that appropriate location for their business at an affordable price. And we also know the local lending community in those rural areas so that we can help do warm introductions between our clients and the funders that are in those areas. And lastly, it's extremely important, and the state has really supported the expansion of broadband access. So thank you to the governor and to your office for continuing to push those initiatives. Extremely important that we complete that last mile project and get high-speed internet connectivity to all parts of the state. But the SBDC program in our network, as well as across the state, has really adopted online services to make it accessing our services much more convenient and easy for our clients. So we're using Zooms and Teams and other types of platforms for one-on-one conversations and webinars, both live and on demand, so that rural clients can more easily access SBDC services.
Great. So Manal, I'm going to turn to you right now. We've heard about rural and disaster impacted communities. You're in a more urban area. Tell us about how your center provides outreach to women and minority owned businesses within your region.
Absolutely, Director. So across our OCIE SBDC network, as I mentioned earlier, we speak 27 languages, and we're building on that every day. Our goal is to mirror our community and provide the assistance that our small business owners need. Our consultants are active business owners from within that community who just want to help and give back, as mentioned by Kurt earlier. For example, one of our consultants, Alan, he operates 8 restaurants, speaks Mandarin and Cantonese, yet he still finds the time to allocate some of his time to be part of our team because he wants to help other business owners and entrepreneurs. We continuously collaborate with the ethnic organizations and chambers within our community. Earlier this year, for example, we put together the Minority Summit, bringing together cities and ethnic organizations such as the Asian Business Association of Orange County and the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and more, to start the conversation and understand the need of the community within our region. And we're tying in all the business organizations together so everyone has the resources needed to help the small businesses within our region. One of our centers, as a matter of fact, the SBDC Finance Center, is hosted by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce that will provide easy access for the community. During COVID and with the support of CalOSBA, we put efforts and focus to assist women and minority-owned businesses through programming and training. We rolled out the California Shop Small, which is a platform we created to help businesses within California showcase their offerings and expand online. And business owners are able to feature their businesses and products as women-owned, veteran-owned, Asian-owned, and more. For example, one of our clients, Everlyn, an Asian Pacific women entrepreneur, she was hustling and struggling during COVID to try to sell pastries, which is her product. She joined the California Shop Small and opened up her shop online, giving her brand and product exposure statewide. We worked with a local organization here called Goodwill OC, providing people with disabilities training on launching their businesses online as well on California Shop Small. Another example, we rolled out the MADE program, which is a 5-week program with the support of CalOSBA to help entrepreneurs launch their business and make their first sale at a live market. One of our clients, Willie, an African-American entrepreneur and an artist, joined the main program because he wanted to learn how to turn his hobby of designing teas and jewelry into a business. During the program, we helped him set up the business, get his inventory in place, working on his pricing, getting set up to accept payment. And by week 5, he was up and running and a live market, making his first sale and officially launching his business. So we present and offer programming in different languages such as Spanish, Vietnamese, Korean, and more. But everything we do, we can't do without the help and the support we receive from CalOSBA. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Manal. You make the point that when our small businesses get digital, they get greater access. I want to thank all 3 of you for being with us today. But most of all, I want to thank you for the incredibly hard and important work you do every day for our small businesses. I know that this is way beyond a job, but indeed a labor of love. So thank you again. And coming to the main screen now is my dear colleague and friend, Director Ana Lasso. Director Lasso leads the Department of General Services, which serves as the business manager for the state of California, with over 3,500 employees and a budget of more than $1 billion. DGS serves the public by providing a variety of services to state agencies through procurement, acquisition solutions, creative real estate management, design and innovation, and oh, so much more. DGS also serves as a control and oversight department to help protect the interests of the state of California. Our teams work very closely together in the same ecosystem, supporting the small businesses and driving opportunity for them across the state. And I want to note that it's not just about small businesses, but we are very intentional about micro businesses getting a bite at the apple of opportunity under this administration. Bienvenida, mi querida amiga.
Gracias, Director Gray. Thank you so much for having me with you all this morning. It's exciting to see such great participation, and DGS is just very happy to represent, participate, and be of service to all of California.
Thank you for being with us today. I know how impacted your schedule is, so let's get to it. Governor Newsom's administration is supporting small businesses and promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion throughout government. How does your office work to support this priority?
It's a great question, and I just want to say that DGS continuously works to support this priority through its management of the state's small business and disabled veteran business enterprise certification programs for state contracting opportunities. It's not the only thing we do, but we do a lot more. But this program supports a 25% small business participation goal and a 3% disabled veteran business enterprise participation goal across all state contracting dollars spent annually. And through its Office of Small and Disabled Veteran Business Services, we call it OSDS, and there's a big alphabet soup, so I'll try to be clear about what I'm saying. The DGS Procurement Division supports certification of these businesses, outreach, training, and department advocacy programs that seek to assist small businesses with successful contracting opportunities. We work with over 144 state agencies and departments to ensure that the state's policies on inclusion of small and disabled veteran businesses in contracting opportunities is at the top of mind when determining the need for these goods and services and the type of procurement method to use that support these businesses. We recently established a focus on statewide supplier diversity program that will work to increase opportunities for diverse, small, and disabled veteran businesses. And like you said, Director Gray, micro enterprises throughout the state's contracting programs. To that end, DGS works with a myriad of stakeholders to ensure businesses have access to the information they need to establish and maintain business operations in the state, as well as opportunities to compete in state contracts that support the mission of departments and agencies. We partner with GoBiz to ensure small businesses have access to business training, financial assistance through grants, and information on upcoming opportunities in state contracting. And we also partner with the ethnic chambers of commerce across the state to ensure information on how to do business with the state is broadly disseminated to diverse businesses. Other things that we're doing, and this is very close of and top of mind of mine, because I think this is where you see a lot of the participation at the ground level, is that we have a small business advisory council, and others around the state provide critical feedback. So vendors who are going through these processes can give us feedback. They are able to compete and gain insight into the importance of the efficiencies that we're trying to implement across the state. And then on this, one of my favorite programs that we have is we offer a reciprocity program for local government entities to use the state's SBDVBE certification when awarding contracts. So let me explain a little bit about this reciprocity agreement. We have over 40 reciprocity partners, including municipalities, school districts, utility companies, and the University of California. What does this do? It allows the state's SB DVBE certification to be recognized over these 40 different municipalities, school districts, UCs. And so this has a ripple effect. It has added literally billions of dollars in opportunities across the state to firms who only have to certify with DGS, and yet that certification works with the other entities. So that's a lot of what we're doing in this space.
Wow, that reciprocity is real. I mean, access to billions of dollars. So folks listening, you don't have to only come to the state. There are tons of other agencies across the state of California that are recognizing that DGS certification. So Director Lasso, DGS manages a myriad of business services for the state and services for our public and private partners with access to state government, specifically procurement processes and tools. What is DGS's mission and vision, and what are the goals? How is that aligned to promote small businesses? What are you currently focusing on? I know this is a complex question, right? But I know you've got it all up there. What are you guys focusing on to ensure small businesses are included in all aspects of state contracting?
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it earlier in this fireside chat when you introduced me, but I'll say it again. DGS's mission is to serve as the business manager for the state. We deliver results. We provide timely, cost-effective services and products that support our customers while protecting the interests of the state. And our customers are both internal stakeholders, like departments and agencies, as well as external stakeholders. Our vision is excellence in the business of government. And that's many of the products and branches. So procurement is one of the largest branches and products that we offer, but we have many more. And we strive to achieve excellence by providing our customers with products and services they need in a professional and value-added way. What does that mean? So let me break that down a little bit. Our mission and vision through our strategic goals is achieved by ensuring that SBDVB firms have access to training on how the state does business through extensive outreach and partnerships. We develop and manage tools such as the state's online marketplace, critical to all the vendors out there. Cali Procure is where contract opportunities are advertised and where the transaction occurs. So very important. I'm going to underscore Cali Procure is an online marketplace. Businesses can opt in to receive notice of upcoming solicitations, and contract resources are offered, as well as providing support to our state departments in identifying available certified firms to compete on state contracts. So both the public can go to Cali Procure and our departments can go to Cali Procure, and they meet there in terms of identifying what's available to either. Our goals further align with DGS's efforts to promote the use of small and disabled veteran businesses in state contracting operations through state procurement methodologies available to all state departments. Remember, I mentioned that goal of 25% for small business and 3% for DVBE. So when you use the SBDVBE option, it allows departments to secure quotes directly from those firms and award contracts based on low cost and best value. Really important. I used to be in a different department and I saw this tool to be very useful when awarding contracts under $10,000 directly to SB and DVE firms by validating the pricing as fair and reasonable. This for departments both streamlines the procurement process that are, sometimes cost effective and timely and lengthy, and it allows for increased awards directly to SB and DVB firms without this lengthy, costly procurement process. Another strategic area that DGS is currently focusing on is its in-depth training for certified firms that will help increase the diversity of awards across the entirety of the certified vendor pool. The goal is to educate firms on state terms and conditions, administrative requirements, details of bidding, contract administration and prompt payment, because if you're a firm and you now understand that entire process, you have more ability to participate not only in that space or that contract that you were interested in, but in future contracts. So that training is critical. The program is currently in development and will be rolled out in the next year. And we continue to support and educate our state agencies and departments on the importance of inclusion of its diverse SB and DVBE firms in all aspects of state contracting. We offer departments the opportunity to implement an SB first policy as part of their commitment to inclusivity. The SB first policy helps departments streamline the procurement process for buyers and strongly requires procurement opportunities be fulfilled by our SB DVBE partners as much as possible.
Awesome. Now I know you are super tight on time this morning. Do we have time for one more question?
We sure do.
Okay. So Director Lasso, tell us about some of the initiatives, programs, and projects that model this mindset that you're talking about and further promote the ecosystem of small business inclusivity and representation. How does DGS effectuate these concepts and put them into action?
You know, this is by far my favorite, because I think when we observe and we think about the things that need to happen and we think of policy that would be good, it's only as good as you can put it into action, right? And so when I came to DGS about 1.5 years ago, this is where I leaned in and I said to all of the different branches, how do we take policy to action? How do we have full efficacy? How do we know if we're being effective? And not only that, how are we being equitable and diverse and inclusive? So glad you asked me that, because I have some really great examples to share. With respect to equity, the administration, the Government Operations Agency, which I report into, are working with DGS to implement equity plans across all state departments that include recommendations for increasing the use of SB DVBE vendors in procurement opportunities with the state. So this is huge. I mean, not only are we driving it at DGS, it is now becoming a plan that departments are putting together for their goals too. These include plans for increased outreach of upcoming opportunities, varying the use of SB DVBE firms that have not done business with the state or with specific departments in the past. We want this diversity not only to show diversity, but also reach to those vendors that haven't had the opportunity. We're developing procurements in such a way that increase the ability for participation, and we're requiring less experience or breaking down contracts into smaller sizes that would allow for greater participation. In terms of diversity, in the state's vendor pool, DGS launched a new voluntary supplier diversity data collection opportunity for all new businesses registering with the state for current registered businesses. So bidders, vendors, suppliers, certified firms within the profile on CalEProcure. And the purpose of the diversity data collection is to allow the state to gain better understanding of registered certified business owners, their demographics related to ethnicity, race, gender, identity, and sexual orientation. And this information will be used to determine where outreach and support is needed among various communities. So we're really targeting outreach. It's not on the selection process, but this is to obviously support greater diversity and provide those tools and support in areas that we're seeing that require or need that extra oomph. So to date, today, 2,600 certified businesses have entered this data in the system. That's great. To enhance outreach to diverse businesses across the state, we have also developed an interactive online tool. It's a mapping tool called CalSAT, which overlays the domicile of these SB DVBE onto a map and identifies disadvantaged communities, the disadvantaged areas as defined by the federal government, to determine where we have the greatest need. I love maps. They tell you a lot by looking at the areas, and that's where we are identifying where we need to put a lot of our dollars in terms of outreach, additional training, and support. To support the continued economic recovery of this ecosystem of small businesses across the state, we are also working on the Target Area Contract Preference Act, known as TACPA. And TACPA was established many years ago to stimulate business investment in distressed areas of California and create job opportunities for Californians to improve the economic vitality of their communities. So any vendor that meets the definition of a TACPA California-based company whose bid is over $100,000 may apply for the Target Area Contract Preference Act preference. And this California preference program requires state contracts to be performed at work sites, not fixed by provisions of the contract, but in distressed areas by persons with a high risk of unemployment when the contract is for goods and services in excess of 100,000. So there's so many more projects that we're doing and that DGS is engaging on and launching, but I just wanted to share some of my favorite to ensure that equity and diversity is both in the vendor pool as well as in the contracting opportunities for departments. So these are just some of my few highlights for you this morning.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Director Lasso, for being with us and taking the time out to have this intimate conversation about your priorities at DGS. My heart is full. Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
It looks like it is now time for our break. You have 5 minutes to refresh that coffee or that tea and be back right here, 11 a.m. Welcome back. It is now time to hear from some more of our team members. Coming up is our regional advisors. Claire, take it away.
Thank you, Director Gray. My name is Claire Whitmer, and I am the Regional Lead Advisor. And my job today is to explain the role of the Regional Advisors. And you're going to hear from my colleagues as well as we highlight a few of the initiatives that we're responsible for our team. So regional advisors are appointed by the governor to help the director represent our office in the field. As you see, there are 3 of us. I represent 32 counties of Northern California, and my home office is in Solano County. You'll hear shortly from my colleagues, Linda, based in Kern County, and Chris, based in the Inland Empire. Our team exists for one reason. It's a very big state, and there are 4.2 million small businesses operating in it. So we serve as extensions of the director in the field. We also lead specific initiatives related to core mission objectives: advocacy, entrepreneurship, disaster preparedness and resiliency, access to markets, including procurement and supplier diversity, innovation, and access to capital. Now, this is not the complete list, and they are not listed in order of importance. In fact, access to capital is arguably the most foundational of all, but this is the order in which you'll hear about them today. Starting with advocacy. The advocate serves as the voice of small business in the state. Now, many state agencies have responsibilities and programs that serve small businesses, including DGS, whose director you just heard from a few minutes ago. But our office is named after the small business advocate. As you've already heard, our director serves as that voice of small businesses within state government. But what does that mean? It means that we analyze and provide feedback on policy and programs that impact small businesses. It means that we sponsor, publish, and socialize new research on entrepreneurship. It means we respond to small business owner questions about state programs, our own programs, but also business climate issues. And we talk and listen to small business owners. Now, obviously, the director and the regional advisors spend a lot of time in the field doing that last one. Another example is a monthly column that the advocate publishes on LinkedIn, and you can read that by subscribing to the CalOSBA newsletter. Another way is the advocate's leadership of the Entrepreneurship and Economic Mobility Task Force. The 2022 Entrepreneurship and Economic Mobility Task Force is a continuation of an effort launched during COVID-19. And you see here our current leadership team, and we will be publishing a full roster of 34 members later this month. When we do, they will be organized into 3 work groups: democratizing access to capital, diversifying the innovation economy, and driving economic mobility through entrepreneurship. Now, the first 2 are self-evident. We all know that access to capital is not equitable in California and everywhere in the United States. It's also obvious that we need to diversify the high-growth innovation economy. You'll hear more on that from Chris. But driving economic mobility through entrepreneurship, what does that mean? It means that we want to study and we want to support policies and programs that will make this statement true. Successful ownership of a small business creates generational wealth and reduces the racial wealth gap. Now let's talk about disaster preparedness. I want to point out that we just finished National Preparedness Month and national observance every September to raise awareness about the importance of preparing for disasters and emergencies that could happen at any time. FEMA is the main federal agency that participates, and this quote comes from its support material for National Preparedness Month. But CalOSBA also has an initiative to support your disaster readiness. It's called Outsmart Disaster. Next slide, please. And the heart of the program is the Business Resiliency Challenge, which is a training program that is free. You can take it at your own pace online, and it helps you answer questions like these about your business so that you can be as ready as possible for business interruptions like a pandemic or a fire or a drought, or personal emergencies that impact your family or your business, like a change of partners or a relocation or an interruption to your supply chain. We're in the process of migrating this program from a .com site into our CalOSBA website. So again, stay tuned for that announcement by subscribing to our newsletter. Our job as regional advisors is to provide strategies for these key initiatives and to make our office more accessible to you. Next up, you'll hear from Chris Earl talking about opportunities in supplier diversity, procurement, and innovation.
Thank you, Claire, and good morning, everyone. My name is Christopher Earl, and again, I'm the Acting Deputy Director and Southern California Regional Advisor for the Office of the Small Business Advocate. And I'm going to speak with you all today regarding two initiatives that I lead in my advisor role. First off, I want to speak with you all regarding our procurement and supplier diversity initiative, Source Diverse, Source Local. This initiative will help meet the needs of California's supply chain by supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion in California's procurement by taking the necessary steps to increase our dollars spent with diverse and/or local California businesses. We want to make intentional efforts to ensure our underserved and under-resourced small businesses have access to the resources and tools necessary for them to start, grow, and manage their businesses. On our Source Diverse, Source Local site, there is on-demand content for early-stage businesses looking to understand how to contract with corporations, as well as the existing governmental focused procurement counseling and training through our procurement-focused technical assistance centers within the TAP program. For more information on our training programs and partner opportunities, please visit Source Diverse, Source Local on our CalOSBA website. So quickly, we're going to transition into innovation. And this slide here is really focused on the theme of what we talk about when we look at disruptive technologies or innovation as a whole. It's the ability to see change as an opportunity rather than a threat. So I want to speak to you all about innovation and the Accelerate California initiative. With California leading the nation in business starts and venture capital funding, we want to ensure that our regional innovation ecosystems here within the state are growing and the small innovative companies within them have the access to the resources for them to achieve their goals, which one of the big priorities is gaining angel and venture capital funding, which is a part of one of the focal points of the program. Providing access to capital that can assist those small innovative companies cross that chasm. We want to ensure that the Accelerate California hubs are a conduit to mentorship, capital, technical assistance for small businesses of all backgrounds, including a focus on creating access for minority owned business owners, as well as those that face geographic isolation. I myself live in the Inland Empire of San Bernardino County, and I understand the geographic isolation and how those lack of resources can affect the community's ability to develop an innovation ecosystem for their region. And so our goal is to ensure that no matter where you are located within our state or what background you come from, that there are resources available for you to move your business endeavors forward within our innovation ecosystem. Get connected to your local Accelerate California hub at calosba.ca.gov/accelerateca. Next, you will hear from our Central California Regional Advisor, Linda Canones-Vaughn.
Thank you, Chris, for that introduction. I'm very pleased to be here this morning. I am here today to discuss access to capital, a life source for any California small business. Funding is the fuel of any business. Defining what capital is needed to start your business, operate your business, and grow your business is key. Some of the sources of capital include government grants, which my colleagues spoke to earlier, and some personal small personal business loans, and business loans. Angel investors are individuals with great resources who invest in high growth businesses in return for the share of the business. Sometimes angel investors are experienced entrepreneurs, and in addition to their investment, they bring their own skills, knowledge, and contacts to your business. Venture capitalists, also known as private equity finance, usually they invest sums of money that are larger than angel investors in return for equity. A new initiative that we are very excited about here at CalOSBA is called the State Small Business Credit Initiative, also known as SSBCI. We are currently working on a proposal to support the SSBCI initiative to provide technical assistance for small businesses in California. The initiative focus is access to capital for small businesses, and its priorities are accounting, banking, and legal technical assistance. Our partners are iBank and the California Pollution Control Financing Authority, and some of their current programs are listed right here on this slide. I want to leave you with this thought. Whenever you see a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision. For more information on access to capital, please visit our website at calosba.ca.gov. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Next up, we will have an entrepreneurship and innovation panel. And why? California is the 5th largest economy in the world and is driven by the state's strong innovation and startup culture. It leads the nation in business starts, innovation, and venture capital funding. With our heralded colleges, universities, labs, and research institutions, California outspends all other states in research and development expenditures, accounting for over 1/5 of the total U.S. research and development spend and 28.5% of U.S. originated patents. California-based firms are redefining how we live and are solving global challenges with innovative ideas, products, and solutions. Frankly, the future happens here first. And because of that, I'm going to chat with 3 leaders in this space. First, I have Brenna Butler Garcia from the San Joaquin Valley iHub. Thank you for joining us today, Director.
Happy to be here.
Second, I have Rachel Lozano Castro. She is the Brink iHub and SBDC Director. Thank you, Rachel.
Delighted to be here.
And last, I have Carlos Gutierrez, LARDA Institute Chief Strategy Officer for the HEAL LA iHub. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Director Gray.
So, Brenna, I'm going to start with you. How is iHub San Joaquin working with major employment sectors in your area to harness private sector investment and the development of innovative solutions to tackle some of the major challenges in your region?
Yeah, thank you for that. So iHub San Joaquin has been around for several years, and very early on in its development, we chose to focus in on major employment sectors in our region. So specifically, healthcare, sustainable construction, and ag tech. and focus in on how we could generate more opportunities for new technologies and innovation to be brought out into the Valley, into the San Joaquin County region. One of the ways that we've done that is to focus in on a series of outreach events that attract interest. Probably one of our most signature events was our H2O hackathon, which is now in its 6th year. We've received significant support from the private and public sector, as well as the State Water Resources Board and the environmental justice community, to bring attention to one of the biggest challenges for California, and that is water. And specifically this year, our students are working on a coding challenge around hacking the drought. We've added new components to that, and we now are serving well over 200 students a year in this, from middle school to college, and it grows every year. So that was one of the ways that we initially focused on how we could serve new innovations and technologies in issues that are really challenges in San Joaquin County. We've also expanded that with our cybersecurity leadership series. One of the things that we recognized early on with our businesses is that cybersecurity was an area that they were challenged in, and that we didn't have a lot of resources to provide them with. And so we worked really closely with the private sector to generate a series of events. In fact, we just had one. It was the Human Firewall, and that was specifically for small businesses and how they can protect their businesses from cybersecurity attacks and breaches. We've also done a series that centers on the manufacturing industry, interconnected systems, and trying to deploy resources to our existing businesses within the county.
Thank you for that. Carlos, I'm going to turn to you. What is the HEAL LA program? Why a bioscience focus? And not only do you have just a really cool name, but I know that you have goals in your program and specific folks you are targeting. Tell us about that.
We are. Yeah, thank you, Director Gray. And good to see Rachel on this call, and nice to meet you, Brenna. HEAL.LA is an initiative to advance the commercialization of bioscience innovations in Los Angeles and greater Los Angeles region. More importantly, to increase the diversity of bioscience innovations in Southern California. And the reason it exists is we saw a key need. While there are, as you mentioned, there are incredible academic institutions that are the generators of ideas. There are increasingly more incubators are providing access to equipment and facilities, capital, venture capital and other kinds of capital, philanthropy, family offices are increasing in our region, but there was missing the translational piece in the middle, which is the commercialization support of helping these early stage innovations become de-risk themselves from a market risk, management risk, technical risk. And that was what was needed in our region. And we knew that because for 17 years, we ran the NIH Commercialization Accelerator Program, one of the agency's largest translational research programs. So we said, why don't we take those resources, bring them to our backyard, to our region, help companies in our area, and with a specific focus on minority-led enterprises, minority-led ventures, women-led ventures. That's what we're targeting, and particularly those that have an innovation that has specific relevance to the diverse LA community. And I can give you one quick example. I'll just get this in there quickly. Is we know there are racial and ethnic disparities in ovarian cancer among women. We have one company called CPG Diagnostics that is developing a simple blood test for early diagnosis of that. Why does that matter? Here's why it matters, because if you get early detection at stage 1 or stage 2, you have a 93% survival rate. If you get detected at stage 3 or 4, it's down to 23%. Early detection matters. And we're really proud to be helping companies like CPG Diagnostics, homegrown, women-led, to be able to bridge her commercialization journey.
Wow, this is the stuff that matters. Rachel, you're up next. You all do something really cool. The San Diego Angel Conference. It has been a very successful part of your iHub's winning formula for entrepreneurs. Can you tell us briefly a couple of examples of small business wins that your team grew and landed an angel deal at the conference?
Absolutely. So again, my context is San Diego Imperial down right up into the Mexico border. And so we are a naturally innovative region. And one of the things that I love about the Angel Conference and the magic that it creates in terms of bringing together investors and entrepreneurs is we don't wait. We don't wait for somebody else to come bring in the capital. We activate individuals in San Diego to make deals locally. And so what that means is that there's a learn by doing on both sides. There's investors that might be investing in other asset classes, but not currently making startup deals. And they get to learn by doing due diligence and going through the vetting process and then meeting the entrepreneurs alongside others. And so then there's activating more capital. And so we're really creating more opportunities than there was before. And then there's the learn by doing for the entrepreneur side. So I'll tell you a story of two folks that went through what we call the entrepreneurship track. And really it comes down to getting your reps in for pitching and also making connections, because financial capital is also about the social capital that you have and the relationships you're making. And so coming together over a series of weeks where you're not just pitching to other entrepreneurs, but you're pitching to investors and getting feedback of saying, okay, I heard that pitch, but that pitch was about your product, not about your business. Let's go back and do it again. And so Mia Thu, who won a couple years ago with her company Visicel, which is really thinking about how diseases are diagnosed. We can remember where she pitched earlier in the evening and then was given constructive feedback and came back about 45 minutes later with a completely different pitch, the one that she continued to get her reps in and was able to win the Angel Conference. Another one that comes to mind, Tosh Dutt of ChargeNet. So went through the customer discovery process that we offer through our Lean Essentials startup, which is kind of a mainstay of the SBDC program, and then was able to pitch at Demo Day. And his solution has to do with building out our clean energy infrastructure for charging EV charging stations. And so the pitch that changed dramatically through the feedback of the process, but most importantly, the connections he was able to make. And so what happens is through that deal, he's able to make a several $100 deal and been able to leverage that through the connections to raise about $14 million.
Wow. $14 million. Folks, that's what happens when you work with our partners. Brenna, I'm going to come back to you. What is iHub San Joaquin doing to encourage sustainable business practices and green technology in the county?
Yeah, so we actually have a proof of concept company located here in San Joaquin County, Nautilus Data Technologies, and they have a data server, floating data center that utilizes water from the Delta to circulate through it and cool the data systems. And this is something that is incredibly innovative. And we're very fortunate to have it located right here at the Port of Stockton. This is something that we think sparks all kinds of interest and opportunity for us out in the Valley. And so we've really been supportive of Nautilus and welcoming them to our community. I think one of the other areas that we have focused in on is our collaborative relationships throughout the region and the development of our iHub Advisory Council to include both environmental justice and workforce development groups in order to create a cohesiveness and really build our ecosystem within the region. One of those groups is EDGE Collaborative, and EDGE Collaborative has a huge focus in workforce development in the climate tech space and how we can robustly build pipelines that will train our residents up in this region instead of displacing workers. So that's been a big focus of iHub as of recently.
Thank you. And Carlos, what are problems that Hill LA companies are identifying, and what can your innovative startups help solve?
Yeah, so there are, I'd probably say four big challenges that we're trying to help bridge and overcome. Rachel mentioned one, which is access to funding, and fostering areas for that social capital and those trust relationships, right, to bloom, which helps access to funding, both, dilutive funding and even non-dilutive funding. We have a focus on increasing the share of minority-led bioscience companies to get greater SBIR awards to our region. That's not a bad thing. We can increase that. That's a good thing. Regulatory issues is also a challenge, or having access to specialized individuals with the skill to help them develop regulatory plans, intellectual property strategies. Another area we're trying to overcome through our relationships with teaching hospitals, industry, academic centers, is also opportunities for early stage companies to get trials, to develop mechanisms for trialing and developing demonstration projects for their innovations, so they can show there is impact, so they can show there is validity to what they're doing. So those are some of the unique challenges that we see of companies in our region needing, and that's really kind of what we're geared to do, is to try to smooth that and foster that to happen in a more rapid fashion, because they are, with time, they are burning cash. So there's a burn that's happening, and so if we can short circuit that time, we're helping them be more capital efficient.
Yes. Rachel, can you share a couple of key questions that an entrepreneur should be thinking about when pursuing angel or venture capital for their innovative company?
Sure. So I'd say there's so many questions, but it's the timing of when you ask those questions of yourself that can be really critical. One of the first ones is this the right financing path for you? There's so many other paths available, and different business models sometimes lean themselves more to raising equity-based capital. So I think finding out whether or not the business model is scalable, what's going on in the industry, what other folks that have similar solutions have been doing is critical to ask yourself sort of that self-reflective question at the beginning. If it is the right path for you, it's really important to understand your customers. So what investors are going to want to see is different ways of proving traction, not just that you think that it's a good idea and you think that there's a demand for it in the market, but that there's some evidence there that you're able to demonstrate. And so a lot of time can be saved by focusing not so much on the product at the beginning, but really the customer need, understanding it deeply, making sure that you are setting a good basis for you to establish product market fit, and then be able to communicate that to investors. Also really understanding your business model and testing that. There's lots of poking at it that needs to happen at the earlier stage. And if you don't do that, you'll quickly find that you'll be reaching some closed doors when you are pitching. And so it's better to really make sure you have clarity and you ask yourself those questions, and really just pitch sometimes to your own friends and family and ask about what's not clear, what doesn't make sense, what's a risky assumption that might need to be assessed before moving on to the stage of really pitching to investors.
Nice. So Brenna, coming back to you for your last question, how has iHub San Joaquin benefited from the new iHub Squared designation?
Yeah, so we definitely have, and we're very excited about this new designation. One of the things, and I mentioned this in my previous comments, one of the things in our region that we struggled with is really being able to grow our ecosystem in a way that is robust for entrepreneurs in our region. And so this new designation and funding has really helped put us over the edge there. We are now able to help support the incubators and other entrepreneurial services within our region, and give them the resources that they need to help our small and micro businesses, and also our emerging entrepreneurs. So we're very excited about that. I think the other big portion of that was really the establishment of our advisory council within the iHub, and that it's so robust that we're pulling assets from other regions. We have Port Product Labs out of the Oakland area that has just been a tremendous resource to our iHub. We're talking with Opportunity Stanislaus to the south of us in Stanislaus County, and their participation and work with us on the cybersecurity events have been immensely impactful. So it's really about growing that connectivity, working with our universities within the region and our private education institutions. Really, that's just been tremendous for us. And so tapping into those assets and having the funding to be able to scale those opportunities has been really fantastic for iHub San Joaquin.
Sounds like you guys are really building an inclusive entrepreneurial ecosystem in your region, and that's what we love to hear. Carlos, let me throw your last question at you. What characteristics are you looking for in an entrepreneur when you're assessing whether or not they should join your Bioscience and Healthcare Accelerator program?
Sure. We are looking for we're looking for certainly minority-led enterprises, but we're increasingly also looking at student teams that are looking to launch companies. So we're really sort of opening the aperture as much as possible. If there are some motivated, teachable, folks have to be teachable. That's just a broad statement that works in all areas of life. Be teachable, be coachable. But student teams is also another area that we're looking for, very motivated young scientists and researchers looking to start companies. We're looking for folks really as broad as possible. As I mentioned, also, even if they have an innovation that has a particular focus to the diverse patient population in Los Angeles, that's okay as well. It doesn't need to be necessarily a specific deep tech innovation. If it's an approach, a mode, some kind of intervention that increases the ability of healthcare to be delivered in a more effective, efficient way to folks in Los Angeles, we're open to folks with ideas that may fit that description as well. So it doesn't necessarily need to be deep tech, but it does need to have a relevance to the patient population.
Yes. And Rachel, bring us home. Tell our listeners today, if someone has an innovative business idea, their dream is a small business, what would you recommend as a couple of steps, maybe next steps, to help them get their small business up and running? Where do they start?
Sure. So I'm going to just say three things. First is connect. Your network is going to be critical to you. And so find your local SBDC, find your local accelerator, find your local startup week, and connect with folks. Sometimes that's the capacity of listening to others. Sometimes that's volunteering. Sometimes that's putting yourself out there to pitch and get feedback. The second is be really customer focused. And be willing to let the insight you're getting from all the conversations you're having evolve your business model, evolve your product. You have to be open to that. And the third is be learning all the time and let that focus. There's so many things that compete for your time as an entrepreneur. So as you learn, you're going to be able to be more and more focused on, okay, now is the time to focus really on my go-to-market plan. Now is the time to really focus on building out my investor pipeline, et cetera. So I think those would be the three pieces of advice. And again, remember that everything we see in the world started as an idea.
Wow. Thank you all, Carlos, Rachel, Brenna, for giving of your time today. And to our listeners and our audience today, there you have it. These are a representation of our centers and the value and the vast knowledge in our ecosystem to help you start, grow, and manage your business. Access to capital, access to the technology ecosystem. You can find it right here in our network. So next up is our outreach and engagement team. Bob, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Director Gray. And of course, it'll give her an opportunity to wet her whistle a little bit as we head towards the end of our program today. But it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to you today. We're going to talk a little bit about outreach and engagement and what we do. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you the Small Business Direct Support Supervisor, Tanya Burgess, to give you an overview of the outreach and engagement team with CalOSBA. Tanya, take it away.
Thank you, Bob, for that introduction. And hello, everyone. I am Tanya Burgess, the Small Business Direct Support Supervisor for Outreach and Engagement here with CalOSBA. I have the distinct honor and privilege of introducing this phenomenal team to you that I manage. I have 3 small business local engagement specialists. Jermaine Carter Gibson is in the North State. Bob Adams, who you've heard from throughout this presentation, is a Central Valley, California specialist. And we have Amber Tarak is our SoCal representative. Our small business marketing analyst and brand strategist is Amber Butler. We have Justin McCoy, who is our information officer specialist. And last, but certainly not least, we have Lauren Gardner, who is our small business analyst. Here at CalOSBA, we like to say that outreach and engagement specialists alongside of the regional advisors are the boots on the ground. You've heard a lot of content and we have a lot of resources and information to share. So that's how we do it, because they cover North, Central, and Southern California. The outreach and engagement team provides direct support to the programs team and the regional advisors in their capacity, in addition to exhibiting and participating in webinars and panel discussions and field reporting as needed. We support the Technical Assistance Partner Network by amplifying events and workshops and promoting small businesses to seek out their services. Additionally, we also collaborate internally with divisions within GoBiz, and we work with our local and state and federal agencies. Next slide. Please visit calosba.ca.gov's website to find a host of resources available to you. Outreach and engagement's role is to provide public relations and marketing. How we do this is by highlighting small businesses' success stories. We provide resources on the CalOSBA Outreach and Engagement page for media toolkits for our TA partners. You can request a speaker or an exhibitor from the CalOSBA field team to attend one of your events. Also, we work with our state, federal, and local partners to amplify events across the state. We publish our monthly newsletter and we have a regional update. So you have 2 publications that are coming out of our office. And of course, we strongly use all of our social media channels. We encourage everyone to interact, engage with us on all socials at CalOSBA. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Nextdoor, and many of you are viewing this live stream on YouTube. So we thank you. Like, share, and subscribe so you can see what we have going on in our office. And I will leave you with this quote: outreach is sharing information, while engagement is about the human connection. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya, for that incredible overview of what our outreach and engagement team is doing. You can tell we are very busy getting the information and resources out to the state's small businesses. Next up is a super fun panel. And we are going to talk to a couple of small business owners across the state that have participated in our Dream Fund. From Northern California, we have Tasha Richardson and Sarah Booker. Tasha is the owner of the Black Soapbox located in Sacramento. The Black Soapbox is a safe healing space and platform for women's wellness, specializing in imported and domestic hair care, skin care, and overall women's self-care. Sarah is the owner of Growing Wings Early Learning Center here in Sacramento. Growing Wings is an in-home daycare center dedicated to nurturing children and helping them soar. From Central California, we have Eric Alcaraz. Eric is the owner of Rancho Alcaraz, an organic farm in La Grande, California. Eric is committed to providing farm-raised beef and eggs to the local community and beyond as his business grows. And last but in no way least, from Southern California, we have Sarah Close. Sarah is the founder of Flora, a sustainable hair care brand made with clean, locally sourced ingredients manufactured in their San Marcos, California warehouse. They're on a mission to reduce plastic waste and donate shampoo and conditioner bars to local organizations. So panelists, let's get right into it. I have 4 questions for each of you to answer. And we're going to start with Tasha. In 15 seconds or less, what is unique about your business?
The Black Soapbox is more than soap. We are aiming to empower women to personalize and prioritize their self-care.
Awesome. Sarah Booker.
Hello. All right. Our vision.
You need to repeat the question in 15 seconds. In 15 seconds or less, tell us what is unique about your business.
Awesome. Here at Growing Wings Early Learning Center, our vision is to establish a child care program whose primary goal is social, emotional development and interpersonal skill building. Our classrooms provide a safe space for children who struggle to function in larger classrooms due to a delay in social, emotional skill development.
Awesome. And Sarah Close.
Hello. So Flora is unique because of our strong community involvement, our dedication to sustainability, and our strong mission to reduce plastic use. We also keep all of our production in-house, so that's super cool. And we were really early to market in our specific niche.
Wonderful. And Eric, I see we got the technical difficulties worked out here. You are just in time to answer in 15 seconds or less. What is unique about your business?
Hi. My business is unique in the sense that I raise and grow all my animals pretty much from when they're very little to end production, whether it's eggs, whether it's grass-fed beef, as well as my garden. I start everything from seeds. And I provide to the local community.
Excellent. And Eric, tell us what made you consider applying for the Dream Fund program?
I needed a good resource that already had a good standing with teaching people how to start a business. And instead of me going back to school and learning from ground up, I could take a fast-paced course to learn exactly what I needed to learn to not only be able to start, but also thrive and continue.
Wonderful. Sarah Close, what made you consider applying for the Dream Fund program?
I loved the idea of the classes and getting to connect with other local entrepreneurs. I just thought it was such a nice way to really cultivate the community and also support us as small businesses. And the grant came at the perfect time when we were looking at loans and we were really ready to take the next step. And so it was just like the perfect opportunity all around for us.
And Tasha, why did you apply?
Well, I applied because in addition to the beauty and holistic products, I aim to create an integrative self-care wellness practice. So I needed more space to serve the women that I work with.
Wonderful. And Sarah Booker.
Yes, I was really ready to just jumpstart, and I didn't have all of the information that I needed. So when I heard about the License to Care program, it was the perfect opportunity to get all of the information that I needed in one reliable place.
Excellent. And so, Sarah Booker, let's stay with you right here. Which technical assistance center hosted your Dream Fund training, and what were the key takeaways for you from the training, and what have you implemented in your business?
Awesome. So I was partnered with the California Capital's Women Business Center, and they were able to guide me through the entire process of researching, preparing, and applying for all of the licenses and permits that I needed. I was assisted with building out my business plan, addressing areas of entrepreneurship, quite frankly, I knew very little about. They were able to simplify the process by giving me that direct access to reliable information, and then taking the guessing work out of the internet research, which really sometimes led me on a wild goose chase, and I never found the right information. So not only did that program help me step by step, but I was able to make connections with other childcare providers in the community that shared valuable information that only comes through experience. So after receiving the fund, I was able to launch my in-home childcare business, register my official business name, create websites, and then adding things to enhance my program with that social emotional resources, and then the training on the teaching strategies. So now my dream is really happening, and it really is thanks to the Dream Fund.
Wonderful. Eric, which technical assistance center hosted your Dream Fund training, and what were your key takeaways?
The UC Merced Small Business Development Center is the one who hosted, and it was amazing because they're right in town. I didn't have to go too far. It's very convenient going through Zoom and getting all the classes done there. The technical assistance that I would say was the most beneficial was never stopping, let me word it a little better, is always learning what the market trends are doing and how you can adapt your business to continue with what's going on around you. That was a very huge key takeaway. Instead of just doing what the vision that you had, okay, but what is society right now doing, and how can we promote, or how can we adapt to those changes so that way our business continues to stay in business?
Yes, and Tasha, same question. Which technical assistance center hosted your Dream Fund training, and what were your key takeaways?
NorCal SBDC is the center that hosted my training, and my key takeaways were definitely the importance of business planning and financial management. You can have a great idea, but if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. I was able to fully develop my business plan, financial projections, as well as set SMART goals that are attainable for myself and my business.
Great. And Sarah Close, bring up the rear on this question for us.
Yeah, so I was at the North County San Diego Small Business Development Center, and what I really took away from it was the customer segments and customer interview section. Really getting to know my target customer was super helpful for me, and understanding the different channels of customers I have available to me. And then also the finance meetings and like the financial projections were huge too, because that was an aspect that I'm not strong in. So having help there was awesome.
And you know what, Sarah, let's stay right there with you. I'm going to give the last question to you first. What was the impact of receiving the Dream Fund grant for your business?
It was huge for me. It helped me make the decision to move into my larger warehouse space that we have now and be able to scale our production. And knowing that I was receiving this grant and going through the program was what really motivated me to take that terrifying step into signing a lease for a larger space. And then I also have been able to hire a designer to elevate our branding and packaging because we're going to be launching with Whole Foods. And the grant just really allowed us to get ready for that and also prepare for larger opportunities to come.
Yes. And Tasha, same question.
Well, for myself, the Dream Fund has been instrumental. I was able to transition from a sole proprietorship to an LLC, bring in my long-term partner. And we're able to have a structure that is more recognized for grants and things like that. And I also was able to expand and rebrand my business. So it was instrumental. It's still affecting me until this day.
And Sarah Booker.
Yes, as mentioned before, I was really able to just enhance my overall services that I provide and really getting that structure development and utilizing all of the business things that I really didn't understand before. I have a better understanding for, and just really gaining the confidence to be able to use this business plan to apply for more funding to actually see this dream come to fruition.
And Eric, you get the last word on the impact of receiving the Dream Fund grant for your business.
Yeah, it was amazing. The fund allowed me to expand, buy more livestock, feed costs went up, so that really helped out. I was able to get more fencing, more panels. I'm able to get more, sorry if you could hear my chickens in the background, they're free ranging. But it allowed me to get more of what I need in order to be able to produce more eggs, produce more beef, produce more vegetables. So the Dream Fund was very, very beneficial in that, and I am very grateful for it.
Wow. Well, panelists, I just want to say thank you for joining OSBA today to talk about your small businesses and your experience with the Dream Fund and our small business technical assistance centers. It sounds to me that in a TA center you can trust, all others must be verified. We're so glad each of you dreamed big. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, we are moving to a close for today's open house program. Don't disconnect yet, because we have a very special message from our Lieutenant Governor when I am done. It is our hope that you are leaving this webinar with a greater understanding of how to obtain the resources that you need for your business, how to stay in touch with us, and how to keep pace as we continue to stand up new programs in support of the governor's economic vision. We are inspired by the dedication and commitment of our partners, but above all, we are inspired by you, the state's small business owners, the hardworking people who power our economy. Your success is California's success. And from us to you, we want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Now to our Lieutenant Governor.
Hello, everyone. I'm California's Lieutenant Governor, Eleni Kounalakis. I hope you've enjoyed hearing about the inspiring work California's been doing to support our small businesses. I want to start by thanking Director Gray for her outstanding leadership and for inviting me to provide closing remarks for the California Office of the Small Business Advocate's first virtual open house State of the Office event. These are historic times for the state of California. As you heard from Governor Newsom, his priorities include supporting economic growth, resilience, and sustainability for all California businesses. And small businesses are the lifeblood of California's economy. They bring innovation to our state, support our communities, and are essential for economic growth. Small businesses across California have persevered over the past 3 years, and the latest job recovery numbers show that our hard work is paying off. August 2022 marked the 11th consecutive month of job gains in our state, and we have now recovered 93% of the jobs lost during the COVID-19 pandemic. As someone who was a businesswoman for almost 2 decades, I know how important it is for businesses to have access to a variety of resources and accurate information. And to that end, Governor Newsom's administration has shown its commitment to small businesses by expanding access to our state's grant programs. So far, CalOSBA's technical assistance providers counseled and trained almost 500,000 small business clients, helped start over 5,000 businesses, and supported the creation of over 35,000 jobs across our great state. And through these programs, California is dedicated and ready to help more. Each and every one of you are making an impact far beyond day-to-day business, fueling community growth and longevity. Thank you for what you do every day to support our communities and our state. I hope you leave today with even more tools to grow your businesses. Thank you.